Fantastic. All right. Welcome everyone to the Regen Network Community Dev Update for Wednesday, May 13th. Got a lot of exciting news to go through. As usual, we'll try to sort of be efficient in sharing our updates and leave plenty of time for conversation towards the end. So welcome and enjoy the show. I'll just share my screen here. Apologies, I think I had a little internet blip there. There's been a lot going on over the last 2 weeks. So one of the things that I wanted to start with is just letting everybody know that the COSM-WASM scores are, we have a draft calculation. Anil is doing a little bit of a couple updates here and there and whatnot, but I'm gonna paste a link to this in the DVD channel for our validators for people to go through. I just put a screenshot of the top 20 in there so people can just take a look. And obviously there was actually, I think, 75 scoring participants and 78 participants total. I guess a couple people, you know, sort of like entered and then didn't actually get their nodes spun up. So there's a link in this, there's a link here in the slideshow, and I'll repost that in the DVD channel. And please feel free to, you know, ask questions. Thanks so much, Anil, for getting this put together. And a sort of full blog is forthcoming. I've solicited some observations from the COSM-WASM team about what they learned and saw, and from the lead validators, and now that we've got the scores here, I'm kind of piecing that all together. Okay, so now moving into registration layer updates. So just some really exciting updates. We've been having lots of momentum and movement on our ecosystem service credit registry, which is kind of our go-to-market exemplar DApp built on Regen Ledger. This is the update from the ringtail sprint. You can see the tasks that are included. I'm actually not going to just read them out, but always nice to be able to see those. And then looking forward, which I think is what I do want to read out, we're moving into Wallaby sprint. So we're getting the Stripe invoicing flow all ready for people to be able to, you know, purchase credits with credit card. There's sort of a custodial addition to our for buyers to our database, some invoicing transaction stuff, a lot of Stripe focused integration work going on, and then also an auto retire option. So you basically can purchase and automatically retire your carbon credit instead of, you know, wanting to hang on to it or whatnot, which I think is probably many users will want, who are just sort of doing retail carbon offsetting. Science team update, fantastically exciting. They were burning the candle at both ends to get our first full credit class monitoring, reporting, and verification scheme published and out for review. So it is in you know, essentially like its first draft. We're going through a rigorous internal review, and we're bringing in reviewers from our open team colleagues and other scientists. So we're doing sort of an iterative peer review process around this draft that's been completed. It's focused on grasslands, healthy grasslands, and specifically on rotationally grazed grasslands. That and this is sort of a technique for any sort of, you know, pastured animal, but in this case, in New South Wales, they're cattle, where actually carbon is measurably, the soil carbon is measurably increased, and so it's sequestering carbon into the soil, which is, grasslands are a really important ecosystem in the planet to have working for carbon sequestration. So we're very excited about this. I didn't pop in the little graphic. Trying to think if I could just pull that up. I didn't pop in the little graphic of the world's grasslands. I apologize for that. Maybe when we shift out of the presentation and are just chatting, I'll go drag that up so people can just see the sort of breadth of the landscape that this methodology is hopefully going to be able to engage with and cover. I'll turn it over to Corey for the blockchain roadmap update.
Yeah, can you just do a refresh of this? Sorry. Yeah, there's just a few lines in the open team.
Yes, I can. No problem. You should have it now.
Cool. So on the Cosmos SDK side of things, there is the current kind of biggest piece that we've been working on in terms of architecture for the protobuf migration is this ADR 20, which has been upgraded for to include the usage of any instead of one of. There was a long kind of like back and forth with some client developers in the Cosmos Discord over the past week or so. And we're just now at the point where I think we've got alignment on the path forward. The PR that includes those changes is 6111. And if you'd like to kind of have context to better understand kind of the historical conversation there, some of the sticking points, and especially if anyone here on this call is kind of coming from the Cosmos client developer context, we'd love to have some more eyes on that. And that the issue is 6078, where kind of Aaron, our CTO, kind of outlined in one of the last comments there, his sort of view of why we're taking the strategy that we're taking and what the trade-offs of it are. So, yep, finally kind of closing off this conversation. I think it's been a couple of weeks that we've been sort of digging into the details of how to get the encoding right in a way that satisfies both our own requirements as well as having a good developer UX. But it seems like we're pretty close to it now. There's also this outstanding ADR around protobuf and naming, which is 6083. So that one there's been a little less activity on. Yeah, happy to see more eyes on that if anyone from this community is wanting to take a look. And meanwhile, to moving forward on some of these ADRs and some of the design pieces, we've also been migrating the state, thanks to Anil and Sahith. And I think there was someone else from the VitWit team working on some of these pieces as well. XGov, XAuth, XBank have all been migrated. They're either merged or they're still just ready for review now and should be merged shortly. On the Regen Ledger side, we're having our RFC review. I think it's most likely going to be next week on Thursday is what looks like the best availability time. There's a doodle link in this slide deck if you would like to participate in that, and I can share it here in the chat as well. And on the open team side, we're now starting this new process for paired work sessions. So basically, within the open team community, there is going to be a 4-week development cycle beginning next week, in which a bunch of the open team community partners undergo a kind of more detailed series of small kind of like hackathon-like prototypes, or like some pieces are prototypes, some pieces are more discovery focused. But for us, I think we're going to have 2 active paired work sessions running through that open team process. One focused on putting digital signatures into projects like FarmOS and OurSci, and another one around data interoperability with some of the folks from OADA at Purdue University. If you'd like to follow along some of that, some of those broader conversations around Open Team, there's the GitLab link here, which is what we're using now to track all of our all of the Open Team work moving forward. Really excited that that stuff is starting to get tracked in this way. I think it's going to improve the visibility of that work exponentially, and will be a really great entry point for people not actively engaged in the Open Team processes to kind of keep tabs on what's going on in that ecosystem. So definitely of interest for folks attending these community dev calls potentially.
Cool, thanks, Corey. All right, that brings us to the end of our sort of quick roadmap update. As usual, the next community dev call is in 2 weeks. We'll have a validator call next week where we'll be, doing test. We may do a little section. Obviously, we'll do a little section on rewards and whatnot. There's also a couple of pending conversations. I might actually use that time. I might invite Ethan Fry and other folks involved in the CosmWasm Cosmos Hub governance update to attend and maybe use that time to talk about that, to do question and answer about that. So anyway, I have some ideas about just making that time really pertinent and useful for the community as we are in a pause of, we're not in an active testnet. So that time slot may do a little, something innovative. So stay tuned for that. So with that, I'll stop the share and yeah, just open it up to see if there are questions, comments. Yeah. Not everybody all at once.
I had a question on the testnet, but you already answered that you'll provide us more information next week on the scoreboard and everything.
Yeah, and I also, in the presentation, you might have joined just after this. It was actually the first slide. I did share, we have a draft of the scores.
Oh.
Let me just go back and share that with you right now.
Yeah, I just
so we did an initial version of this. The official scoreboard will be a little later. Why am I missing? There we go. Here we go. So Kalpatek, number 17 in the top 20. Good job.
Gregory, that is not sorted, I guess. So they are in top 5 actually.
What's that?
Kalpatek is in top 5, I guess.
Oh, so this was wrong.
This is not sorted.
No, it's alphabetical. So
yeah, it's alphabetical.
it's just
that was why I was sad, because I knew we had a better performance.
Okay, let me go to this. So yeah, will you put it?
You can open the link.
Will you? Yeah.
Total results. Go to total results in second tab in the same sheet.
Well, but I just was thinking this is for all the test nets, right?
No, this is phase wise actually. Previous sheet.
Number 3, yoo-hoo! Yeah. I knew.
Is that in total points? Yeah, that's in total points.
Yeah.
You're number 3 in total points. Good job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
We were on top of that. So thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah.
And it looks like.
Mm-hmm. And at the end is like the total of all test nets, right? Until now.
This is the total of all test nets right here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cool. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Looking forward to the next ones.
Yeah.
Actually, the last one is like the biggest in rewards, correct?
The last one is by far the biggest in rewards, and we'll be testing our as close to our final mainnet blockchain as possible, and trying to make it as fun and engaging as possible. So should be good.
Yes.
No, I really enjoy this testnet. Was like the communication around it was very good. We had no errors and I don't know, missing information or miscommunication of data. So really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. We worked hard, and especially Anil and the Vitwit team did a lot of work, and of course the other Joe at Chorus and Chris at Chainflow. But I have to definitely give kudos to Anil for being on top of all of that.
Yeah, they're like the rock stars in this space now, helping with a lot of projects and doing like a fantastic job. So I'm really glad you have them on board with the team.
Yeah, we're
Wow.
very
Thank
grateful.
you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Looking forward to see more work from you, and please apply to an ICF grant for your work. The applications were just open, and everyone is looking forward to see what amazing ideas the community has. So
Yeah.
if you have some, please write an application and send it. We
Sure,
also
sure.
make recommendations, like if you need help and anything, we are here. So
Yeah,
looking
definitely.
forward to more contributions from everyone.
Yeah, awesome. That's exciting. Maybe maybe that groups module user interface might be worth
Yes.
thinking about.
Why not? Bring it on to the next level. Like if you have started working on it, right? You have like work in progress at this point. Or yeah. Just make a plan for what you want to develop and what you want to accomplish with it, and just apply. Looking forward to use those money.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Any other questions or comments out there? Lucas, Paul, anybody?
I was just stopping by to check in on updates, so sounds like
Cool.
there'll be more next week.
Yeah, yep. There'll be more detail around the testnet stuff, and obviously, I'm going to share this as I said, in the DVD channel, so you can, crash around in there if that's of interest.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely encourage everybody in the ecosystem to take a good look at Ethan Fry's Cosmos Hub proposal, even if you're not a atom holder and voter. If you are an atom holder and voter, definitely look at it. But even if you're not, I think it's really that the architecture that he's proposing for CosmWasm, for governance to be able to govern the contracts being on chain, essentially, and becoming executable, is the same basic model that Regen Network will be using. And we had a role in lots of conversations with Ethan and sort of making sure that the functionality that he's driving to enables that, whether or not the hub chooses to adopt that sort of more strict governance over smart contracts. I think it's useful for our community to just take a look at that and understand that that's what we're thinking. I would welcome a healthy conversation about trade-offs around that, but that's our sort of our preferred architecture and model. So I certainly would welcome people to engage in that conversation, understanding it, because it is sort of in our roadmap as well. And we're really excited that I think that the hub is hopefully taking some leadership there to get that functionality done. Well, and Ethan really, but the rest of the community if they vote.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I want to double down on what you have said and plus one on Ethan's work. It has proven that it has the resources and definitely the knowledge to apply this on the Cosmos Hub as well. And I'm really impressed of his work until now. The way that he has managed to bring CosmWasm to this level in also terms of development and comms. Starting the channel, also onboarding everyone, working with developers, working with Regen to test the functionality of CosmWasm also that we have seen in the last testnet. So huge shout out to this. I think it's something that Cosmos Hub definitely needs, and I'm looking forward to supporting his proposal.
Cool. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Well, if there's not anything else, we'll cut it a couple minutes early. Thank you everyone for joining the call, and have a safe and beautiful week out there. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere like we are and it's springtime, I hope you get out and enjoy it.
I also want to ask you, Gregory, how do you feel after 2 years? We haven't had a chance to, let's say, celebrate 2 years of Regen, right?
Yeah,
How does this feel?
it feels great. I mean, yeah, it's funny. It's sort of like 2 years we've done so much, but and yet we're still, you know, like this close to like pulling it together. But I have to
Sorry,
right to your birthday, something really. Did I break up there?
a bit.
Okay. Yeah, something. Yeah, 2 years. Something has changed. You know, bringing Corey on, and we like a few months ago we went through we started really focusing on upgrading our internal capacity, and there's yeah, I'm really excited about the alignment, and it's not just. I also feel like the broader ecosystem, it's sort of we're all coming of age at a similar time. The Cosmos ecosystem, you know, for instance, Proposition 25 by Ethan Fry, some of the decentralization of functionality, you know, Regen Network stepping into leadership around the Cosmos SDK, things starting to click with Open Team, as Corey was talking about, and, you know, having these sort of collaborative work packages being visible and worked on and progress happening. All of that feels like it sort of snapped into focus right around our 2-year birthday. And so it feels like we're, you know, we're sort of like running on all cylinders now. So that's very exciting. And, you know, ask me again after mainnet. And
I cannot wait. I share your enthusiasm, and I understand exactly what you mean. We have also gone through the similar period, and I know how it feels to almost have everything like put together, you know. And it's almost there. So yeah, looking forward to it.
yeah, and the progress is really good. And I really think we're going to look back in 5 years on this phase of sort of like what it means to sort of like create a community around public protocols, and the, you know, that approach, which has never really been done in the history of the world, and the way that we're sort of rewriting, you know, the tech entrepreneur handbook, because it's very different from just launching, you know, a normal, like a web app or something like that.
Yeah.
Or software as a service platform. It's just different in so many ways. And yeah, so I feel like at this stage, like something happened right around the 2-year mark. And I guess I'm identifying, I think it's ecosystem wide, that we have more, we know what we don't know a little bit more. And before, it's like we didn't even know what we didn't know for a long time. And now at least it just feels like there's a little bit more, you know, just things feel
alignment, vision, consistency. Yeah.
Rigor, discipline. Yeah. Yeah, good. Thanks for that question.
Of course. I was super excited to see how the team is doing, because I share, as I told you, like the excitement around having things almost done and on the verge of being launched. So fully understand.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Adriana, and thank you, Anil and Corey and Paul and Will, and a few other folks hopped off a little early. Have a beautiful week.
Yeah, thank you so much, and good luck in Game of Zones, right?
Yeah, good luck in Game of Zones.
Everybody.
Go.
Bye.